Alright, thanks and welcome back to Mark II Interview. I'm a fellow Mark II enthusiast, just like everybody watching out there. Thanks for watching. Click, subscribe, ring the bell, you know the drill. Do it all. And thanks for coming. So this is my 1992 Tornado Red Mark II GTI 8-valve. I saved this car out of a field. It was pink and gray when I got it. Many of you are familiar with the Tornado Red color. It's not supposed to be pink. The trim is not supposed to be gray. Red and black is what you're going for, not pink and gray. Brought it home on a rollback. Couldn't get the car to start. Found out there was a little mouse infestation in the car. So, you know what I had to do? Called the exterminator. This guy right here. Got rid of the mice. Gutted the entire car. The whole thing. All the interior out. I mean nothing. Down to the bare bones. So then I found some holes. Of course, rust takes its toll when you pull one of these out of a field. Got busy fixing the rust, and from there checked on the wiring. All the wiring ended up being good, except for a little bit that the mice had gotten to. Not a big deal. Patched that up. Did it all prim and proper. Good to go. Got this car from Jordan. Shout out to Jordan. Thanks for parting with your Mark II so that I could enjoy it, take it to the next level. Jordan drove this car in high school. It was his first car, which is great. I love that. Jordan actually ended up being my son-in-law, so that's great. So I was looking for a hot hatch, basically, when I got this car. I don't know why I never bothered to actually look at a car that was right in front of my face. I'd known this car for many years. I've personally owned the car for about 6 years now. Brought the car home, cleaned it all up, got it looking good. Everything polished out really nice. It's all hand rubbed back. I didn't have to use a buffer on it. Might look a little better with a buff. I know this fender and the hood had been resprayed. Apparently it got rear-ended in a parking lot when it was at a garage before Jordan owned it. I couldn't get the thing to run right. The Digifont 2 just wasn't right. So I ended up taking out the entire computer system. I went MicroSquirt on the whole thing, rewired it all, got rid of the distributor, went with the coil packs, and it seemed to really wake this car up. I have not had the pleasure of driving anyone else's Mark II. So if you're out there and I interview you and you want to let me drive your car,
Hey!
That's great! Just to get a comparison. You know, like I said, I've never driven one other than mine. This thing is just a blast to drive. I take it out as often as I can. It's got 221,000 miles on it as it sits, and going up every season. I go to as many car shows as I can in the local area and surrounding. It runs flawlessly now with the MicroSquirt. I love it. Highly recommend that to anybody who wants to do that or is thinking about that. Been through the engine, complete re-gasket, went over the fuel injectors. They actually went to my buddy's ultrasonic cleaner, re-O-ringed those, and everything turned out phenomenal. This car, I would drive it anywhere. Might be a little noisy. The air conditioning has been unhooked. I know it looks like an earlier car, judging by the interior. It's an earlier interior. Funny story, I actually got that interior from a guy on Craigslist. Wanted $50 for the whole, everything, all 4 seats, $50. The guy had an upholstery cleaning business and he just wanted to practice, basically, to see if he could get these nasty seats clean. So I got all 4 seats for $50 in perfect shape for their age. My dash is cracked. It's hard to find one that's not. The steering wheel was a $60 eBay find. I always wanted the 4-button. Had to have the golf ball shift knob. You know, I did this car up how I thought it should be. Everything I ever wanted out of a Mark II, I put in this car. Maybe minus the wheels. I do like the wheels. Felgenworks. Sounds very German. I'm not exactly sure where they're from. They do look very similar to the original wheels, the teardrops that were on here that many of you are familiar with. But, you know, I would love, who wouldn't, set of BBSs, maybe some Borbette Type A's. Love those wheels on these. They just look outstanding. Car didn't have fog lights. I got the fog lights. I put the H4 conversion, did the relay thing, tried to beef up the wiring wherever I could. Went through the grounds. That's common practice on these. Go through the grounds, get everything tight and clean. I've done all the work myself to this car. Lots of long hours in the garage, laying on the floor, welding the floor up. Like I said before, lots of rust in the floor. Did the Coney Street struts and shocks, H&R 1.5" lowering springs, I believe. Nothing too drastic, just needed to hunker down a little bit with these rims and tires that I got. They are 8x15, 25 offset. That's the fitment that looks good on these cars. Yeah, it's been a labor of love, and I'd love to have more of them. Once again, guys, thanks for watching. Click the bell, like, subscribe, do it all. You know what to do so we can meet the algorithm. If you like Mark II stuff and you want to see more Mark II stuff, I'm trying. I'm putting myself out there. I'm looking for you. If you have a Mark II, I'm going to find you. I know you guys are down in York. I know there's a scene down there. I'm coming for you. Anybody who's got a Mark II, if you have a Mark II and I can find you, maybe you can be on Mark II Interview.